Hello again. It's been a while. Got a little different video today, a little kind of video. I don't have really good lighting in here. Just to bring you all up to speed, well, about this time last year, so I've had about a year, I bought a piece of property off of a cousin of mine, and he bought this property probably 30-40 years ago. It's been in multiple hands, but originally back in the late 1800s, like 1880, I'll look that information up. This was deeded to my great-grandfather by the president. This was, at that time, I think it was 160 acres. It was his homestead. So I've recently acquired it, like I said. Now, I don't have 160 acres. That would be awesome. I have 2 acres. So essentially, I have the edge of probably where the barn used to be on the back part of this property, and the house place, the old home place, on the front part of this property, which still has probably could be working chimney, an all rock chimney. For a lot of years, that's all we've driven by here. That's really all there is as far as a landmark on this property, other than it's grown up. And the last time there was a house on it, I think, was in the 80s. And that burned to the ground. And so it's just been left derelict for decades. And so I've made it my project, like I need any more projects. The reason I don't put out videos very much is because I'm constantly working on projects, and not projects that are even video worthy. So but I was going to bring you along, and there's a little backstory. I'm currently parked on that property right now. I will show you a shot of the outside of the truck and what I'm doing. This is far enough away from my personal homestead that it's not something I can just run up, work a little bit, and run back. So this is Friday afternoon. I got off work, came home, hooked onto the trailer with the tractor and the chainsaws, and all the stuff's already packed, and headed north. I'm in the north part of the state. And it's really, this land is really rocky anyway. If for anyone that knows me, which is probably only the people that are following my channel, I am a hillbilly. There's no getting around it. I was raised in the hills. I'm from the hills. I'm currently sitting in the hills. Not mountains, but at the close to the Boston Mountains. The foothills of the Boston Mountains. So, what I'm doing out here is the reason I'm doing this. I've come up on a Friday, and because I'll be staying on property. I'll have all day tomorrow to work and try to make some sign on this property, and at least get a driveway in here so I can get my truck and trailer and tractor in here and out of here without fighting for an hour. So that's tomorrow's goal. But right now I am truck camping. Let me say it again. I am truck camping. Now this is a mid-size Chevrolet, but it's a double cab. It seats 4 fairly comfortably. I bought it because I have a family of 4. But the last time I did any vehicle camping was in college, and it was bad just because it was a smaller car, and I'm a big guy. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to show you some things that if you needed to go truck camping or vehicle camping, if you're going to hunt in the woods and you don't have a camper, and you've got a big enough truck, you can just camp in your truck. I'm lucky that this property has a creek that runs through it, so I have water, fairly clean water. I've got drinking water in the back of the truck, but I've got water to bathe in because I'm going to be probably pretty nasty tomorrow. But I could bathe in that creek. So I've got water, a source of water. Shelter, I've got. This truck is a pretty nice shelter. The big problem with trucks, like you think, oh, that'd be awesome. It'll protect you. It's made to protect you when you're running 80 miles an hour. That's true. But if anyone that knows camping, glass glass has got about the R value of a tent. The nylon, maybe a little bit more than the nylon of a tent. So the biggest problem, it's going to get down to 45 tonight. So, and maybe a little wind because there's a storm front coming. So my truck is going to cool off drastically. So I'm going to be sleeping in the passenger seat because there's no steering wheel like you probably see right there. I'll be sleeping in the passenger seat in a sleeping bag, and hopefully I've insulated, put enough. I've used just cheap moving blankets. They're quilted enough to protect some of the heat that my body will generate over the night and slow it from escaping the cab of the truck. That's the hope. There's science behind it. It's not just crazy. It also blocks out the sun. I get up pretty early, but if you were at one to sleep late, it would block out enough sun that you could sleep late if you wanted to. I don't think I'm going to be that comfortable. But a cab camping is not bad. It's similar to a smaller version of a sleeper cab on a semi. But on semis, anyone that drives those or knows people that drive those, they have curtains that go all the way around the cab, mainly to block off a sight, because if you're sleeping in a rest stop or in a truck stop somewhere, you don't want people peering in on you. That's just creepy. But it also provides another layer of insulation between the warm air that's going to be inside your cab and the windshield. Now, on a over-the-road truck, those things are equipped with either small diesel heaters or electric heaters, or you can idle the truck. Most trucks now are clean idle, and you can idle the truck and provide HVAC, heat vent and AC. I'm not going to run my truck all night. There's really no point in it. This is a small enough area with the extra insulation of the moving blankets on the outside of the truck. I can get in my sleeping bag and I should be able to sleep comfortable down to 45. We'll see in the morning. We'll see if I can actually sleep comfortable. But right now it's 6:45. And really, I've got nothing I can do. I can't really go bush hog or cut down trees. There's not much light, and my neighbors would hate me. So, and I don't even know my neighbors yet. I've had this for about a year, and they're pretty far apart, but they'll hear a chainsaw or the loud clanking of a bush hog running, hitting rocks and stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to be a good neighbor. So I'm essentially turned in for the night, even though I don't normally go to bed for a couple hours. I will probably sit here and read on my phone or listen to the radio. I've got my ham radio stuff in here. I don't have anything that could talk long way. I could probably hit a repeater that's about 30 miles away and see if there's anybody around. But I don't have any HF rig in this truck, so I can't talk, states away, which is at night. That's the most active, or going to be your HF, your lower frequencies, versus a handheld radio or a truck mounted radio. So I probably won't be doing that. But let me unclip you here and I'll show you what I'm going to do here. This is a little weird. Let's see, I need to flip them. Okay, that's different. So I've just got like a little Coleman. My truck's a mess and I've got to get some, So I'm just literally just going to set this up here. I need to clean this truck seat out, but it'll work. And I've got some, I've got some headphones. And I'm just literally just going to sleep right here. And I've got an extra sleeping bag. If I get too cold, I can throw that over me as a blanket. But I think this will be fine. I've slept in this sleeping bag down to 30 degrees with no problem. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. And so I don't do selfies, so I rarely use the rear or front, whatever, the other camera. I guess it's the rear facing camera. So I've snapped you into my little truck holster for my phone. So I'm idling the truck and warming the cab up, and then I'm going to get in the bag and read, and we'll see. Well, let's survive the night. It's a little more difficult to get comfortable in this cab than I thought it was going to be. Sleeping bags and everything worked as far as staying warm, and granted there was a little more wind last night and it blew the covers, the moving blankets off the top of the cab, which helped it cool down a little faster than I wanted it to. Not too bad though. I slept about 5 hours. One thing I took forever to get comfortable is laying these seats all the way back. You're kind of at it's a pretty nice, and they go back pretty far. But as you're laying there, you're kind of always creeping toward the floorboard. So I had to end up raising the seat a little bit so that my butt provided a little bit of an anchor, so I wasn't just trying to crumple into the floorboard. But after doing that, it was not too bad. And it gets late enough, you get sleepy enough, you'll go to sleep in any position. So, but so I'm just, it's just now getting blue out, so it'll be about another hour before I'll have enough light to actually get out and plan today out. But I'm gonna watch some YouTube, and I've got the truck running right now to warm it up from last night, and then we'll get the day started. And it works. It's not my sleep number, but it works.